Daddy's in the building. Hello, hello, and welcome to another edition of Call of Daddy 2. Joining me, as always, on the sticks, that bad dad of COD. His name sometimes is Muscle V, but it's usually Dixie.
Yo, 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 Muscle V in the house.
And his better half. We've talked about her before. You know her as Trixie.
Hola.
And as always, our only true producer, our executive producer, the man that shorts have forgotten. He is the Pants Man.
Present.
And feel free to ask me anything, for I, of course, am Jeeves.
Hey.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us for another. We have a jam-packed show today. I know most of you probably had the day off because everyone celebrates President's Day, but not here in the COD Daddy universe. That's right. We're busy hard at work.
Except for me.
Except for relax, all of you. But before we get into today's show, Dixie, why don't you catch us up? What happened last week, and where are we at in Kill Battle Sticks?
Last time on COD Daddies, our heroes found themselves not only battling other COD players, but Mother Nature as well. The P.O. box was full yet again. Funko Pops of our heroes were made, but turned out to be Seinfeld characters. The Muscle Vs were selling fast, and the VTAC was officially announced. With the heroes facing sleep issues, stay tuned to see what the heroes are up to in their next adventure.
I mean, that was fucking perfect. Obviously, that was perfect. I did want to hear the Kill Battle score updates, though.
The Kill Battle score update is...
No, in the voice.
The voice is only for the intro.
That was supposed to be part of it.
31 for Jeeves and 27 for Muscle V.
Just not going to play ball.
What about the sniper scores?
Sniper scores is 25 for Jeeves and 22 for Muscle V.
Yeah, that's right. For those of you that are very good at keeping track at home, we did have some major updates over the weekend. And as you guys know, the weekend is canon for kill battles, but we don't do shows. All right. Pants Man, you're flying solo in the producer studio tonight. We still need some producer ratings. What do you got for us?
Well, from our last episode last week, I am giving myself a 5 out of 5. Muscle V, giving you a 10 out of 10. Jeeves, you're getting a 20 out of 20. And
Wow.
Boo, who is not with us for dumb reasons, is a negative 50 out of 50. Overall, I give us a 500 out of 250.
Oh, wait, what about Trixie? Give her a projected score as well.
Projected score for this thing that we're doing today is a 3 out of 2.
Trixie, that is the nicest score he's given to anyone who's yet to be on the show.
Now, I do want to clarify, while, you know, if you just look at, you're getting like 1.5 of a score, technically they are real numbers. So compared to Muscle V, who got 20 out of 20, you're drowning Trixie.
You said Muscle V's Dixie's drowning Trixie? Is that what you said?
She's doing much worse. I mean, he got a 20 out of 20. She only got a 3 out of 2.
But that's over 100%.
Yeah, but it's only a 3 compared to a 20.
Look,
But a
not all
20 out of 20.
not all of us do
Right.
the math, all right?
It's fine.
All right.
My math teacher.
Oh, we don't use any personal information whatsoever. You have to make up a job if you're going to refer to your work.
Oh.
She just did.
Oh, yeah, right. And you did great.
Right.
Good work. Good work.
Yeah.
Trixie, welcome to the show. We've heard so much about you, the COD Daddy universe has.
Oh, of course. You know, just had to make a random appearance.
We love it. We hope to have you back. Do you have anything you need to plug before we get into some things?
I'll keep you updated.
Oh, okay.
Not right now.
We're asking for the update right now.
Yeah, if at the end of the show you have a new update, that'd be great. Like if you do another podcast while we're filming this, that would be
Yeah. I'll check
very
with my
interesting.
people.
Okay. Great. All right, so at your request, we are bumping up an early a segment that was going to be a little later. I don't know if you guys know this, but I had a daughter recently, so it's very important to me that I understand all of the plights of womanhood and her potential future plights. So I thought, what better way than to get 3 to 4 guys to really hash things out and explain some of women's plights. So, Muscle V, I go to you.
Job well done.
Yeah,
I need you to mansplain. I need you to mansplain childbirth to me.
Yeah, someone who's recently birthed a child.
100% you, right? You had basically no help whatsoever. It was all you, I believe.
I mean, it didn't come out of me, but I was very, very much involved in the whole process. But yeah, that experience
real quick, before you continue. Trixie, would you say he was very much involved?
He was there the entire time.
So would you describe him as the linchpin in the entire process?
No.
Wow.
All right. That's weird. Anyway, continue, Dixie.
Anyways, while I'm mansplaining here, please be quiet.
Good. You're on brand.
Yep. So there's different types of pregnancies, as we know, and birthing. You have the planned and unplanned. Let's go over the planned option first, where you're like,
let's review that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a baby. So essentially, what you do is you go to your doctor and like, hey, let's get this thing out of me, and they're like, sounds great. And then you start negotiating for a date. So you say, I'm free this Friday, and the doctor's like, well, can't do this Friday. How about Monday? And you're like, well, Monday doesn't work for me. How about Tuesday? So at some point, you find a date that works for both you and your doctor. Show up to the hospital, and they take care of the business. So whether it's a C-section, a natural birth, pretty quick, scheduled, go in, get it out.
Well, you said whether it's a C-section or natural birth, it's pretty quick.
It can be pretty quick. Now, natural birth's a little bit longer
Right.
sometimes, but I mean, it could be pretty quick.
Now, I assume if you're going through this process and it's taking a longer time, say a 5, 10, 15-hour, labor, you can head out, take naps, grab food, smoke, whatever you need to do, right? Just to pass the time as you come in and out of the process.
Yeah, definitely Chipotle is involved always, obviously. Maybe some coffee.
Well, even now with all the, with inflation.
Okay, don't get me started on inflation with Chipotle. That's a different topic, okay?
Is it? It sounds 1A, 1B to me.
Completely different topic. We're talking about birth here. But yeah, with the scheduled birth, sometimes if you are doing it naturally, it can take a little bit longer. Sometimes they put balloons in your hoo-ha, trying to expand it. That does happen. Epidurals could be in
Now,
play.
is that to make it go faster, or is that just to entertain the child while it waits?
No, it's to entertain
both.
wife. It's to entertain the mom. Do you know how boring child labor is?
Yeah, but it's to entertain the child as well, because the child sees the balloon in there and they're like, ooh, I want to play with it.
Does sound like children.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And then sometimes you can do an epidural if you want. You don't have to, but some people do choose to do that.
Now, I believe, Dixie, you chose to get an epidural while you were there.
Yeah, it was like...
You're like, I'm just sick of feeling this lower half.
Yeah,
light me up.
It was 3 a.m. Yeah, it was kind of tough.
I'm actually rocking an epidural right now, I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh.
That is the new fashion, I heard.
Absolutely not.
All
right. Keep going.
Yeah, and then when the time comes, they're like, oh, look, the baby's, I think it's called crowning, I think maybe. But baby starts crowning. They're like, oh, right direction. Everything's great. Let's get some nurses in here. And then you start the pushing process.
Well, who was checking you before? Who's checking you that says get the nurses in here?
Just one nurse, but they always have like a team of nurses sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they don't. Like in our scenario, we just had one nurse and the doctors refused to come to the last second.
That adds up.
So
That's
that does happen. Then you start pushing, and what you do is you grab onto your husband's hand or whoever's hand it is, and you squeeze as hard as you can. Like, that's a requirement. If you don't squeeze it as hard as you can, you're not doing it right. And you gotta breathe. So breathe and then push for 10 seconds. And then breathe and then push for 10 seconds.
Now, I breathe without thinking. Do you have to think about the breathing, or you just do it?
Yeah, are you sure you have to breathe? It doesn't sound like something humans need to do.
I would say it definitely helps with the process, but if you don't want to, I guess it's optional.
You should just hold it for 12 hours.
Well, you're supposed to hold it for
Yeah,
at
what
least
if I
10
get
seconds.
off on
But,
kind of getting choked?
Ooh.
while having a baby?
I mean, I've not had one yet, so I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking the hard questions.
I mean, whatever you want to do in your spare time, go for it.
No, this wouldn't. I don't know. Is this spare time? I don't know if this is spare time.
All I'm saying is, you know, if you're going to have a baby, there's no reason you can't be aroused.
I mean, medically, that might not be true. I don't know.
You can't feel your lower half at this point, so you probably can be aroused. You just don't know it.
Interesting.
I don't.
Phantom arousal.
Is
Yeah.
that,
Okay, you can
that's
have it.
interesting.
Now, I mean, while you're aroused, you have a baby coming out, so I don't know how that plays into it. Maybe we need a female.
No, your
perspective
job's
for this,
your
but-
job's to mansplain. You do know. You tell the world how it works.
There's no sensation, so they don't feel shit down there.
Oh, they have to shit?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do shit.
Way too excited as you said that.
It didn't happen in our situation, which was awesome.
No, we're not asking about your situation.
First of all,
You're supposed to explain the whole process.
It's important to know that with Trixie sitting right next to you, I assume, you probably shouldn't reveal details about whether or not somebody pooped during the process, even though you answered correctly. It's a dangerous path to go down.
Unless it's you. If you shat and want to share that, feel free.
I mean, I had diarrhea the whole entire time. I was shitting my pants while pushing.
Well, you weren't supposed to be pushing. That might have been part of your
Yeah,
mistake.
that was probably your first mistake.
I was sympathy pushing.
And that led to diarrhea. So
I mean, with Chipotle and everything, you can easily get diarrhea.
I don't think the pushing leads to diarrhea. It just would make it come out quicker,
I was
right?
gonna say it doesn't help.
It certainly doesn't help. But
Yeah.
okay.
And then, you know, you keep pushing, you start seeing the baby's head, and then you get all excited, like, oh my god, the baby's here. And then 6 hours later, the baby comes out. It literally takes that long for the baby's head to come out once you see it.
Okay.
Doctors start running in. It's, you know, at first it was a one-man show. Now you got like 50 people in there showing your hoo-ha to everybody left and right. Baby's probably fine. Baby's crying at this point, right? And then you start breastfeeding. Baby's eating a little bit, sleeping, crying. And then
And once again, you're describing a baby or you're describing yourself? I'm getting a little confused.
both. We're all sleeping. We're all crying. It's all good.
All pooping yourselves.
Yeah.
Well, diarrhea. in his
We're all
case,
having
I'm sure
massive diarrhea.
The baby didn't. Hopefully, didn't have diarrhea.
Oh,
We can
baby.
Although
tell
I
otherwise.
have heard that first baby shit is gnarly.
Yeah.
It's not diarrhea. It is something else. It is absolutely not diarrhea, though.
Well, see, if the mom eats Chipotle while giving birth, baby can definitely have diarrhea.
100 out of 100 doctors say this is the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is it ends with the crying and the pooping, or
Well, then you're stuck with the
And yet-
baby for the rest of your life, and now it's like
Yeah,
what they do
perfect.
is they're like, "This is yours now, figure it out," and then they send you on your way.
okay. Well, Trixie, how do you do? Are you are you pleased with his representation of the miracle of childbirth?
And
For
remember,
the
you
most
are
part.
representing all women when you answer.
Yeah, listen, for the most part, not too awful. So,
Well, I didn't
There you
finish
go.
it yet. There's still the unplanned version.
okay.
Oh, you want to get into that totally different thing? Okay, great.
The
Yeah,
unplanned
hit it.
version is you're sitting at home eating Chipotle, obviously, and probably shitting.
I
Yeah.
love that your birthing story is always going to start with Chipotle.
You're probably in the bathroom pooping, and then you're like, did I just pee or did my water break? I'm not quite sure.
This is every time? It's always a bathroom start?
95% of females usually have their water break on the toilet after Chipotle.
I do hear that in the last 2 months of pregnancy, just about every visit to the toilet is a gamble as to whether or not they peed or broke their water.
Really? That's fun. I have not heard this. This has been informative, I guess.
Yep. So then you start questioning. You're like, well, did I pee? Did my water
Now,
break?
now all of this was not part of the planned pregnancy. All of this is
This
a
is-
totally different experience.
I think what he means about planned and unplanned is not the pregnancy part; it's the birthing part.
Yeah, the birthing part. Exactly.
So you're saying if you had to go in, for whatever
Unplanned.
reason.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, my water broke. I gotta go to the hospital right now. Like,
Okay,
that's
the
not
way you were describing this, unplanned to me sounds like you had a oops baby.
Yes, that's what I originally thought too.
That's not what you're saying. You're saying
Now,
planned birth.
correct.
can you have an unplanned baby but a planned birth?
It sounds like with
You
Dixie's
can.
lingo, certainly.
But you have to eat Chipotle, otherwise the baby will never come out.
I would say 100% of people would not call it this planned versus unplanned. You're using a very different lexicon than most people would, I think.
Are you mansplaining or am I mansplaining?
I'm man correcting.
That's
I don't
not
think people.
It's not a
unplanned
thing.
birth.
It's not a thing. As the resident expert on this topic, clearly you're
Okay.
wrong.
I'm sorry to step on your toes. Incorrectly, mind
Yep.
me.
Yep.
All right, continue with your unplanned birth.
Yep. So obviously, the water breaks, but they don't know since they're on the toilet. So they kind of start walking a little bit, and they're like, "Why is there water all over my legs and my feet and all that stuff?" Kind of weird situation. Then you decide to go to the hospital. You're like, "All right, we should probably go to the hospital." You go, and they're like, "Hey, your water did break, and you're gonna pop soon." So
Wait, but how do they know?
You're gonna burst.
how do they know if your water broke? Doctors know. Okay, they check. They lift the
What do
hood.
they do?
They lift the hood, and they're like, "Oh, yep, broken."
They feel around and they can tell.
Sorry,
Okay.
the clitoral hood?
Yeah, what hood popped? What hood is popped? That's a good question.
The hood. The
No,
hood,
you tell
the hood
us.
is popped.
You tell us what
Elaborate.
hood.
Whatever hood is necessary gets.
Is this on a woman? This hood, or do you just show them your car hood?
I feel like both would work, but probably the woman is better.
Why would the
This
non-woman
is taking
version
such
work?
an interesting turn.
Yeah, I was gonna ask why you
Ooh.
didn't start with quote unquote unplanned pregnancy, but now I see why. Okay, continue.
Yeah. And then pretty much after that, the steps are the same as the planned one, where they do all the same goodies. Get the baby, and then you're stuck with it.
You keep using the "stuck with it" term
Yeah,
for your
you
own child.
got a baby. Well, I'm talking about my child. I'm talking about children in general. Like,
Well, this is the general process. Yeah.
yeah, in general, like you got a
There's-
baby for life now, unless you give it up for adoption. But you're like, hey, I don't want this thing, so take it.
Gotta kill.
Safe zone. Gas is closing in.
Great. All right, Pixie, do you still feel good about his answers, or do you need to
No.
addendum anything?
No. I just don't even know how to fix that last, the unplanned birth
Well,
thing. Part of
Okay. Well, what was the most egregious thing you heard from your husband, who was with you at childbirth?
it. I don't even know. That was just a interesting thing that I just had to listen to this past little few minutes here.
Certainly interesting. All right, so if you had to give him a score for his planned birth, what would you have given that? His planned birth description.
Like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, what about his unplanned birth description?
1 out of 20.
Well, oh my God, changed the scale even. You did so bad
Uh-huh.
the scale had to change. Oh, that's fun.
I don't
Uh,
trust a person who uses different scales in their rating systems.
I certainly don't trust someone who's going to use a 20-point scale. That's insane. But, I mean, it
Now,
felt right.
I disagree with everything that was just said. As the expert in this subject,
You said most of it.
You're not the expert in scales.
I'm the expert in the subject, and so the rating I disagree with completely.
Well, the
Oh.
subject wasn't scale.
So obviously, I get a 10 out of 10 for everything, and that's where it stands. Thank you very much.
Well, and what do you get out of 20?
There is no out of 20, it's just 10 out of 10.
He
Yeah,
just said he got a 10, so he got a 10 out of 20.
Oh, there you go.
We are about to see a -1, folks.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
We're
Shit,
about to
yes,
see a
we are.
-1.
It's not even going to
The
be
rare
close.
-1.
Why have you been dead? It's a wash. All right. So Pants Man, you have not been part of any birthing process yet, despite the show name. I'm sure you got plans soon to just jump into a birth. But how did you feel? Did you get warm and fuzzies? Do you feel better about the birthing process, more enlightened?
I think there's no word I could choose to describe what we just listened to other than enlightened.
Oh, really? I was going to say diarrhea.
Well,
Did you-
diarrhea
did you-
was enlightened.
Did you have Chipotle
An
today?
enlightened diarrhea.
Dixie, you might have to lay off the Chipotle. Diarrhea way too quick to come up in birth talk, I think.
Also, maybe if you're gonna do Chipotle,
Oh, that
find
was
some
such
fiber in your
bullshit.
diet elsewhere. Because
Yeah, you might be going to the wrong. Like the Kent Chipotle had a number of issues with some stomach bugs being passed around. You might just be
And
going
some
to the
food
wrong
poisoning,
Chipotle.
yeah.
Yeah. Try
I
a
mean,
different
I've
Chipotle.
never seen any fast food place have more reported food poisoning incidents than Chipotle.
Well, yeah, but you also have to think volume. Like how many people go to a Chipotle at the same time? It's a lot of people.
Even with all those incidents, people were not stopping. Like, they were still going.
Yeah, you're talking to a guy right here. Ken Chipotle, they gave us a discount. I was there before the virus had cleared. It was great. Loved it.
You're like, can I get some food poisoning with my burrito? Thank you very much.
It's like, you know how you're just gonna get drunk with this much food poisoning? Okay, I'm dominating right now. Okay, you guys need to keep talking about childbirth for like a minute before we move on.
Well, I will say that as a person who is not capable of having a child, not because I'm not a woman, not because I'm not a woman, but because I'm not going to put it in a woman.
Mentally, you're not capable.
I just want to say that the entire process is beautiful in that I don't have to look at it.
At what, the baby?
So your team continuing the human race, you're just not going to do it, is what I'm hearing.
On the fence about continuing the human race, but I'm very in favor of not looking at it.
Fair. Thankfully, a very bad sniper is trying to murder me right now. This guy's aggressively bad.
You are also aggressively bad.
Yeah, but
So
that guy had the jump on
But
me.
so are you, so.
Well, yeah, Dixie's been dead for a while. Like hours in game time.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't
you
surprise me.
shooting
It
at
doesn't
anyone?
surprise anyone. Yeah, there's this guy.
Yeah, I see this guy.
Oh, there's another guy. There's another that guy.
You're shooting the bushes.
Well,
I
yeah,
feel
I'm
like
not.
you're shooting
I'm
where
not
they
hitting
are,
him.
and you should be shooting where they are going to be.
Okay. Well, I've only got 5 times mag. All right. It wasn't my best move. Oh. Because I'm not very good with it. But it was new, so I had to try it. Okay. I will hide behind a rock and figure out what the next section is.
Next one's gonna be where Booby.
Oh yeah, you guys have the stuff. All right, great. Yeah.
Where
All right.
Booby.
All right. So this is now our 3rd episode. We have just can't find our regular producer / head of sales, and he's probably going to get demoted, but we'll see. there's really no way to explain where he's been or where he is tonight because there's no Valentine's Day. We're what, 8 days removed from Valentine's Day? That can't be the excuse. But he's got to be somewhere, so I think we can probably take a guess and figure out where he went. Dixie,
my God, do you think he went to a Chipotle and now he's just diarrheaing everywhere?
I don't think that would stop him from being on the show. It must be something way more serious than that. It must be like maybe he got shot, honestly. Dixie, what do you think? Where could our producer possibly be?
If I was to think of Boo Radley, the most
You are to think of
obvious,
him. That's literally the assignment.
the most obvious place he would be at is a strip club.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
That's really funny. Okay.
Well, bear in mind, he did say that he was really, really tired. So I think he's asleep at the strip club.
yeah.
Curled up in a corner somewhere.
Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. All right. That's probably. I think we've covered everyone, right? Dixie, go ahead and drop an ad on us like it's hot.
All right. Give me a second. Do you enjoy flexing? Are your muscles just too big for that sleeve?
10 remaining. Keep fighting.
I have a solution for you. The Muscle V. It's an average-fitting sleeveless muscle shirt for the average man. What could be better than that? Oh wait, there's more. Did you say V-neck? Oh yes, I did. The Muscle V comes in all shapes and sizes with the trademark signature V-neck. Look, buy your today at www.musclev.com. Use promo code V, that's VEE, for $1 off. Thank you, and muscle on.
How are you doing that effect with your voice?
Yeah, was that Trixie's mic picking you up, or did you go into the bathroom to read that?
That was Trixie's mic picking me up.
No,
Okay.
only the very
It was
beginning.
It kind of made it a little more epic. Like honestly,
I wanted it more, honestly.
yeah, it kind of worked for the Muscle V read. I assume that the traffic must be blowing up at musclev.com, right?
It is
I mean,
blowing up.
a
We
week
are
of
having
exposure.
I can tell you, I just checked, and it's so busy. There's so much traffic headed there. It won't even load.
Wow.
Nothing
that's-
loads when you go to that
Doing
website.
great. You're doing great, and we're doing great because that means we get 1% of the proceeds.
True.
So this is great for us.
In perpetuity.
In perfect. No, I think it was just for a month.
He didn't remember that.
Trixie did just go to bed, so she is out for the night. So thank
Oh
you very
man, no
much,
sign
Trixie.
off or nothing. Yeah, thank you for joining the show.
She did sign off. She just left.
Well,
The silent sign off.
yeah, I wouldn't say that's not what. She logged out. That's not a sign off.
It's the silent sign off.
she did an Irish sign off.
Use this time.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a goodbye. All right, good. I mean, next time I'll try to get a couple more questions around her. We're frazzed. Our producer's missing. I'm a little out of sorts. I'm not gonna lie. We'll definitely deep dive into Trixie a little more next time she joins the show. I imagine when you're going to explain something about womanhood again.
Yeah, whenever womanhood is involved, we'll definitely have the resident woman on our show.
Great.
Of course, though, as the expert on mansplaining, everything I say still
Right.
overrides the
You are
woman
not
word.
the expert on mansplaining. You're the expert on whatever woman topic we're doing that day.
Potato, potato.
No, very different potatoes. All right. Pants Man, help us out. Let's do some listener mail.
It's gonna go into the old bag that I collected this morning. Now,
Hey,
as
your
you
sound
know,
effect
that-
game is getting incredible.
Yeah. So as you know,
Why can't you do that at the top of the show? That's way more sound than your first two attempts tonight.
Hey, here's the thing: paper makes a lot more sound than my mouth.
Interesting.
So, I went. As you know, we had a very long weekend, Friday through Sunday. So this is the first Monday back. Now, to remind our listeners, the only way to reach us outside of the chat on the stream is through snail mail. We have a P.O. box that you can go to send us all of your your feedback, your questions, your money. We would love money.
Mostly
Cash
money
in
would
an
be great.
envelope sent to our PO box. That's kind of our favorite way to
Shit.
be checked on. But I picked just one of many things that have come to us to open up, and I'm going to rip this open, and we are going to read this letter. Okay. It says, to whom it
God
may
damn it.
concern. Oh man,
Jeeves just got
Oh,
another
man.
-1.
Win here and you return
That's
to
brutal.
the battlefield.
That's
Lose
brutal.
and your fight is over.
All right.
Okay, letter. To whom it may concern. I am writing to apply to be an intern for your show. Well, that's
Oh
cool.
my god.
That
That's
would be
amazing.
great. Do you want to be a producer?
Well, let's finish the letter first.
Okay.
I'd love to learn about the inner workings of a Twitch stream, and I'm also really good at getting coffee. I don't
Oh.
hate your show. In fact, I love it. Not grating at all. In no way is this an attempt to worm my way into your inner circle so that I can feed you cyanide coffee and murder you all once and for all.
What? Yeah,
I'm
it
just
says
a college sophomore looking for a way to grow my resume.
doesn't want to
Murder
do that. That's
couldn't be
perfect.
further from my mind. Is there an application process? Eagerly awaiting your acceptance. Name redacted. Now, what I find a little bit peculiar, a little bit off about this one, and we're all excited at the prospect of having an intern. This was written entirely in letters cut out of magazine.
Protect the perimeter.
Okay.
A little
I mean, so they're-
concerning.
Oh, they're
And
creative.
they didn't. When I said
Very
at the end, name redacted, I don't mean they didn't give a name, and I don't mean they blacked out their name. I'm not redacting the name. They wrote in magazine letters, name redacted.
Oh.
Smart.
Well, wait, is it Mr. Redacted, maybe? Or Mrs.?
Oh, his name could be name
Name.
redacted.
Yeah, his name could be name.
Mr. Name redacted. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Anyway,
think
that was
that's
listener
anything.
mail.
I will
Boy,
say
was there-
this person sounds very creative, and it seems like they enjoy our show. So I say give them a shot.
Well, slow down. There was a couple questions in the mail, right? I think there was. Is there an application process? The answer, of course, is no. You just need to write us physical mail. That's good.
Done. Yeah.
Did I catch? Was there another? I think there was another question. Was there?
No.
Oh, okay. So no
I could look
application
in the
process.
bag and see if we have another letter with a question.
Oh wait. Yeah. Okay.
Got
Do
loadout
that.
drop inbound.
All right.
That'd be wise.
Let's take a look. Well, here we go. All right, this one's good. This one's thick.
So, is this Mr. Redacted or is this a new letter?
It's a new letter. We've read
Okay,
Mr.
well,
Redacted. We
real
can
quick.
talk about it more if you'd like, but you wanted a
well, I just
question.
wanna
I'm going to
say-
look for a question.
You do that, Mr. Redacted. I just want to say, you've heard the application process is to send in mail, so just send us in another one asking if you can be the intern
Recon
next
intel
time.
secured.
Obviously, we don't have the question, so we can't answer it yet.
Okay. I've opened up. Wow. Okay. So this is a simple, straightforward kind of birthday card. It's not really clear why they send a birthday card.
It better be a
but-
question. That's all I know.
Well,
I'm
so
not going to judge a book by its card cover.
you know, birthday cards have a lot of white space, and this
They do,
person
they do.
has filled every single nook and cranny.
Ooh,
I mean,
attention to
every
detail.
square
I like
inch of
it.
white space is covered in words, and it's the smallest text I've ever seen. So I'm just going to zoom in here and see if I
You're
can.
gonna-
I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the first question I found. So let's see here.
Okay. If you had to
Okay,
guess,
okay. Here's
how
the
many
question.
questions would you
Here's the
say are
question they're
on the note?
asking. What is your favorite animal and why?
It doesn't. Does that address a particular person? What's the context around that?
Well, I could give you the
Is that to the group?
context, but it's going to take about an hour.
Oh, is it
give you
to
words.
Muscle V or is it to me? Is it to
I
you?
don't know.
Is it
Look at
Bradley?
this thing. It's covered in text. I mean, some of the words are written over themselves. It's insane. There's just the scrawl on this thing is a nightmare. I'm not gonna be able to parse out. I barely got that out.
Okay, well, let's assume it is to Boo Radley then, and we'll all just answer for him. We'll take turns answering for him.
Okay, so the question is to Boo Radley. The question is, what is your favorite animal and why? And he's not here, so we are all going to take turns coming up with what we think his answer would be.
Yeah, I think we know him well enough. We should be able to handle this.
Okay.
Muscle V, you want to go first?
Yeah, I would say a little kitty cat.
Okay, why would he? Why is a little kitty cat? I don't think I'd have picked that because I'm not going to. What? Why would you say that?
Oh, because little kitty cats are also called little pussies.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what?
And we know Brad is a little pussy.
Who?
Oh, Boot Rad's a little pussy.
Boo Rad. That's kind of cool. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna say a lemming. I think that's his favorite animal. I feel like he's a big fan of, if he tells you to jump off a cliff, he expects you to do it. Probably won't do it himself. In fact, probably won't even show up to tell you in the first place. So I have to assume it's a lemming.
I think it's going to be an electric eel. No explanation necessary.
That does require an explanation because the question is what and why.
I feel like it's self-explanatory, though.
Is the why is no explanation needed? Just
I
too
think-
dead on.
Look, have you ever taken a test and it asks you a question and then it says, include why to the answer, and it's like a whole thing where there's all kind of lines for you to write in a long-winded answer? If you just put N/A, that's enough.
What hot college tip? College, high school? Sorry, what school level does that work for?
Well, it works best in middle school because not a lot of middle schoolers know not applicable N/A. So that's a
And
real
honestly-
impressive little vocabulary term for your teacher.
And let's be real, not a lot of middle school teachers really care either. They're like, oh, NA, great.
Safe zone. Gas
Hundo.
is closing in.
How many middle school papers can you read? Actually read? You're going to
6.
tune out pretty quick.
6, possibly, right? Yeah, I mean, they're kids that really are just learning how to write.
Oh
I
my
would-
god! I
Yeah.
mean 6. I'm gonna. I can't get through one without just being drunk
Well,
off my ass.
Well, there's gonna be the one nerd, and you're just like, oh, this will be funny. This person's trying real hard. I'm gonna give him a B+ anyway, just to fuck with them. And then you got the dumbass, Dixie's paper is probably a fun read where you're just like, oh my god, this guy thinks that it's dead on. Okay, great. This guy thinks he knows what he's talking about. Perfect.
My paper is strictly from Wikipedia. Copy paste.
We're talking about middle school, not your college papers.
Middle school as well.
Well, Wikipedia wasn't around when we were in middle school.
You sure that's true?
Well,
Pretty
we're
sure.
in our
We-
40s, so yeah.
We asked Jeeves that question.
Yeah, it was not around. Nice little preview for a later segment.
Yep. Can we ask Google to verify that comment?
No, because we're in a different segment. We're in listener mail, and we have to move on quickly.
January 1st, 2001, it was created. No, sorry,
No.
January 15th, 2001.
Suck a brick. We were
What
in middle
year?
school in 2000.
We started maybe, but we didn't finish.
Still in middle
First of all,
school.
you don't even know that Dixie finished middle school. First of all, you assumption.
That's a fair point. He probably didn't.
Muscle V was a very good student in middle school, I think.
Absolutely not.
What
That
do you mean you
can't
think? You said that like you
possibly
don't
be
know
true.
for sure. You were there, right?
What a sentence, too. Start off so
Uh,
confident about
That
your
was
life. And
that
then
was 40
really
years
study.
ago. We don't remember 40 years ago.
Oh, you weren't in middle school 40 years ago. We're 40s.
Math is not a strong suit.
Never was. Neither were papers. Neither was science.
Let's tear shit up.
All right. Do we have any more listener mail?
I mean, the bag is overflowing.
I mean, any that you want to cover, any that you're like real hyped to talk about, because I know you previewed them all
Obviously
ahead of
not. You're clearly done.
time. We were probably done 10 minutes ago. Fair enough. Okay. Well, as I said at the top of the show, this is a Presidential Day spectacular. We've all been longtime celebrators of the all great holiday that is President's Day. And one of the ways we like to do that is to drop a hot pants fact about the presidents, or multiple facts. So Pantsman. Oh, that's good.
Okay, as
Pants
you
back.
said, I'm going to take advantage of President's Day to share some fun facts about our presidents and about our history. And I'm just going to start at the top of the pack. I'm going to talk about maybe one of our most celebrated American presidents, Millard Fillmore, lucky number 13.
Ooh.
He was our last Whig president. Now, some think this means that he's the last president to wear a wig, but that's incorrect. That honor goes to Ronald Reagan's famous merkin. The Whig Party was focused on important issues of the day, like witchcraft and building an alliance with the ghostly underworld.
Were they pro or against the witchcraft?
Well, it depended on whether they thought they could get them on their side.
Oh. True politicians, gotta respect it.
Now, John Adams was the first vice president to become president. Thomas Jefferson, the first Secretary of State to become president. And Zachary Taylor was the first Freemason to become president. And every president since has also been a Freemason, following in his footsteps, with the noted exception of Jimmy Carter, who everyone assumed was because of his impeccable bricklaying skills, but was actually a Shriner.
Are you allowed to mention the Freemasonry stuff?
It's common knowledge.
Oh. That's above board? Okay.
Yeah, just real quick, like, what is a Freemason? Are they more free than us Americans, or what makes them a Freemason?
So I'm allowed to mention them. I'm not allowed to go into detail about them.
I can't
So
speak
we're
to
going to move on
Freemasons
very quickly before you
I
get
can
into
handle
trouble.
I can handle this. Most Masons are slaves. There's a bunch of Masons that aren't. Those are the Freemasons.
I'm going to move on to James A. Garfield. Famously died only months into his term as president. He was succeeded by his vice president, Chester A. Arthur. Not many people know that they are both, in fact, the same person. Garfield made many promises to the mob to get into office, and while he could have honored those promises, it frankly would have been a lot of work. So instead, he found a simpler path. He murdered his VP in the dead of night and faked his own death the next day. The lush beards worn by men of the era made distinguishing between them virtually impossible.
That is true. If you've seen their beards, they're identical.
Exactly. If you look at that whole era of like late 19th century presidents, they all look the same. Would you really be surprised that two of them were the same person?
There's a run of three that are just the beard presidents. All you can see is beard. They're like kind of portly beard.
Now, jumping ahead to the 20th century, we have a non-bearded president, Calvin Coolidge, dubbed Silent Cal. Never spoke a single word in his entire political career. In one charming anecdote, a young woman was sat next to him at a gala and told him that she had made a bet with her friend that she could get him to say 3 words to her. He scribbled on a piece of paper, "If you'll grant me true love's kiss, the curse will be broken. I can speak the 3 words, I love you, and we can live happily ever after on the millions you'll win from that bet." Tragically, she couldn't read and went home with a hunky Warren G. Harding instead.
Too bad for her.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we shouldn't leave out our... Oh, sorry.
Don't go too quickly. That's Dixie's dream, right? Just having a job where you never have to speak.
I mean, that would be ideal, but I am curious.
What's his shtick? He just doesn't talk.
Yeah, how did he become president if he didn't speak?
Give me a roadmap.
Before he was a Freemason, so it was
maybe start there.
And he made no speeches. He made no speeches during his presidency at all.
Well, this was the era before speeches because there was only radio.
How did he win the presidential debate?
This is pre-speech.
Yeah, but how did he win the debate?
Focus while you can.
Well, you did.
There was no debate.
Didn't
the
talk.
last debate any president went to was the Lincoln-Douglas debate of the 1860 election.
What year was
We
this,
all know how,
Calvin, dude?
we all know how that went.
Okay, well, I think we shouldn't leave out the noble history of American first ladies. For instance, during the War of 1812, the country was struggling to pay for the war. To raise funds, Dolly Madison held a fire sale at the White House to pawn portraits and paintings for some quick cash.
Nice.
Many know that Woodrow Wilson suffered a stroke in office, and his wife Ellen ran the White House for him. But
Didn't
what
know
few
that.
realized it.
I did not know that.
Oh, you said
Well, now
many,
you do.
Not you.
But what you probably didn't know, and obviously you didn't even know that, but what most don't know is that she did the entire thing in drag. Her sister was a successful makeup artist in the silent era of Hollywood and came to DC to make her look like her husband. Didn't work, of course, but the cabinet members were too embarrassed and didn't let her.
Approaching your position. Get to the safe zone.
That's fun.
Yeah. And then there is the most famous First Lady of all. I'm obviously talking about Rachel Jackson, wife of Andrew Jackson. She was a world-class cheesemonger and made the government work out of the old executive office building, so she could use the White House purely to be a showroom for her wares.
That is true. Andrew Jackson very famously had a giant block of cheese he was hype about.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought that was his idea. Nope, it was his wife's business.
The cheesemonger. Who'd have thunk?
Absolutely. And of course, we wouldn't have a President's Day without Washington and Lincoln. When Washington died in 1799, his spirit spent 10 years wandering around looking for something fun to do. Finally, he settled on reincarnating into Abraham Lincoln. Some clues that they are sharing the same spirit is their honesty, their courage, and their wooden teeth. And those are just a few pants facts about our president.
I mean, it's definitely clear that Washington and Lincoln were the same guy. Lincoln notoriously berated Washington's stances, which you would only do if you were the reincarnated George Washington.
Yeah, and most of Lincoln's war strategies were terrible because they were about 100 years out of date, which is why Ulysses S. Grant had to take over most of the war.
That tracks. That perfectly tracks. That's great. Those are fantastic facts. You have to close the segment by, I think, shouting pants facts.
Well, I did, but you didn't hear it, so I will
Sorry.
say again, those are just a few pants facts about our president.
Ah, right. Sorry, I did hear that now that you've said it twice. All right, great. Those were fantastic.
It's a smooth machine we're running here.
This is we're out of sorts. It's fine. All right. Yeah, those were some excellent lead-ins to, of course, I think tonight's main event in honor of President's Day. What better way to celebrate the presidents than by having a debate in their honor? Dixie, take it away.
So let's go ahead and talk about the greatest of all time presidents. I think let's go ahead and start off with Pants Man. I know you probably have a president you want to push as the greatest of all time.
Well, it's funny. There are two presidents that I didn't mention, even though they're some of the most well-known. The Roosevelt. And
I did think there was a glaring omission for them.
And I, of course, am not going to pick either of them. The first Roosevelt, Teddy, was a drunkard and an absolute stink. I mean, he just didn't believe in showering, bathing at all.
Okay,
And
not my pick, but why? So what if he's a drunkard? He's a dope drunkard.
Yeah, but
Objection
you want to get
sustained.
near him? He stinks. The other Roosevelt was a cripple. So
Objection.
Overruled.
What do you mean? You have to hear the objection first.
the reason I bring up the Roosevelts is because my pick is the person who followed up the Roosevelts, Harry S. Truman. Why would I choose Harry S. Truman? There are lots of reasons. One, he technically ended World War II. Pretty dope. Also, his middle name is just a letter, F. Doesn't stand for anything. His middle name is just F. Double dope.
Counterpoint. Not dope. He's not dope. I mean, S is dope. I'll give you. I can't fight point 2, but point 1. What are you saying? He ended the war with just using bombs that other people created. How is that dope? Anyone could do that. Any dope could do that.
Yes, but could any dope just a few years later start another war with a different country?
I mean, probably, but certainly not a reason I'm voting for him. How about
Okay.
fuck Truman? How about that? How about that?
Wow, strong
Yeah.
stand. Well, all right. I think G's turn. It's your turn. Let's hear your pick.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. You don't have any. You have nothing to say on the matter, Dixie?
Nothing.
Great. Well, it's only your segment. Why would you have anything to say? Okay. My pick, of course, is one of the all-time greats. Let's start with him. A lot of you probably don't even know Truman. In fact, that's one of the reasons I assume Dixie didn't counter at all with the last person.
You're talking about the Truman Show, right?
Great.
Yes, he was.
Perfect.
But yes, that is true. So in the movie about Harry S. Truman, he was performed by Jim Carrey.
I
Probably
knew
why
it.
he was so willing to drop a bomb. He was being watched his whole goddamn life. Yeah, right. So this precedent you've heard of, let's start there. How about a great start? And another point. So this guy is number 3, Thomas Jefferson. Now you might say why? Why? I've heard so little about him. He's basically not even famous. Well, let me tell you some of the things that he managed to, have a low profile on. For one, he kept bears in the White House lawn, just to ward off anyone who thought they might try to fuck with America. That's pretty dope. I'll keep rolling. 2, he fought pirates. Obviously not directly because he was the president, but he made sure to order people fight pirates. That's pretty amazing. He pretty much invented ice cream. He didn't give a fuck about being called a hypocrite when he said slaves were bad while owning a shitload of them. And
Let's
he
throw up a flag on that one. You're praising him for his embrace of hypocrisy and being a slave owner. That's your point 3.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not worried that I'm doing this. I'm still going to make sure we stop doing the bad thing. Good on you.
I'm sorry. What?
Most slave owners wouldn't have done that. Most slave owners would have been like, I'm a slave owner. I'm absolutely not saying freedom for all men. In fact, almost no one would, except for my man TJ.
Now, I did hear that he did also have sex with his slaves.
He also boned pretty much as many slaves as he could.
Some would say raped.
They didn't back then, but yeah, some would. Anyway,
Well,
it
they
wasn't one of
didn't
my
have a
talking
voice.
points.
But they weren't listening to me. So
Well,
there
he
you
was trying to give him one. That's
No, he
pretty
wasn't.
cool. He was.
He was
I mean,
continuing to own them until the day he died. So
yeah, but he was trying to not own them.
no, he wasn't. He
Kind
didn't
of,
do
like,
really anything to pursue that. He just sometimes said it.
Societally, he was trying to not own slaves. Obviously, if
Not
other
true.
people own slaves, he's still going to own slaves. But if he gets everyone to stop owning slaves, obviously he would join that party too. Kind of guy.
A party
TJ
he
is.
never actually joined.
He wrote about it.
Made no. Even though he was incredibly powerful and influential, he made no actual legislative moves to accomplish it.
Okay,
You
so
just
great
voted
point.
for a slave owner.
The world's original Facebook poster. Great. That's still pretty cool. Final point, he was played by Daveed Diggs in Hamilton. What more could you want? That guy's great.
I mean, I'm not going to fight you on Daveed Diggs.
Hamilton's pretty
Unassailable.
good, too.
Yeah, that's right. He made it into Hamilton.
I now really, really want Muscle V's pick to be Alexander Hamilton.
Now, Alexander Hamilton was a close number 2.
That'd be
But
problematic.
he was not a president.
That was his only shortfall, I guess.
He was amazing based on everything I know about him from the production of Hamilton.
So you're going Ben Franklin, I guess.
Ben Franklin, also a great dude, but also not a president. He is on the dollar
Honestly,
on the currency though.
Honestly,
Then who are you gonna
Stunning,
pick?
you know a lot of
Kanye?
these. Yeah. Who you got? Easy.
My guy, we all know him. He's the OG of presidents. Is Mr. George Washington.
Okay.
Boo.
He was the commander-in-chief and won the American Revolution for the U.S.
Objection.
No objection. Overruled.
We have to get to the safe zone.
No objection. You said nothing. All right.
Scratch that from the record.
Okay.
He also did not want to be president, but did it because he felt he needed to make sure that the U.S. was in proper order.
Objection.
Fuck. What?
Destination marked.
You're taking this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one.
Okay.
Hostiles in the area.
I think you're quoting Hamilton and B, not true.
What is the true fact here?
And you return to the
He
battle.
wanted to be president.
Lose and your fight is
I don't think so.
In fact, he wanted to be it so much he was it twice.
or capture the objective.
Not
Abraham
from-
Lincoln was also, as we've established.
Sorry. He was actually president 4 times, despite initially laying down a precedence of twice.
Based on all the movies and productions I've seen, George
Just
Washington.
Hamilton.
George Washington was like, I don't want to do it, but I guess if somebody's got to do it, I will do it. Direct quote.
Absolutely no. Objection, not a direct quote.
You can't object to everything I say.
I think I can.
I'm just gonna step in here and say I have you haven't brought it up obviously, but I'm gonna say a con against him. He taxed whiskey. The
He did
bastard.
tax whiskey. In fact, your boy Hamilton talked him into it.
No objection because I
And
didn't
my-
know that.
And my boy tried to stop it because why would you tax whiskey? We just fought over tea. Direct Hamilton quote.
Well, my boy would have dropped a nuke on him if he was going to tax whiskey.
Yeah,
It-
I do think I do think Truman was a big drunk.
If there were nukes available, I'm sure the OG would have dropped some nukes too.
Oh, that's interesting. First of all, you're saying that like it's a plus. And 2, you think so? I don't think he would have.
I think New York would have been fucking destroyed. He would have nuked the shit.
Why would he have dropped it on New
What?
York?
He
'Cause-
dropped it on New York?
Yeah, because the British were there, weren't they? The
They
British
were in
Still
Philly.
over-
Were they even in New
They
York?
were New Yorkers. What are you talking about?
I would have said
Why
fuck.
would you-
I would have said fuck them.
This is your because you're Russian.
Casualty
course
of
you
war.
would've.
Casualty of war.
What? You don't drop a bomb on your biggest own city.
Hey,
It
Britain,
wasn't- it
you
wasn't the
wanna-
biggest
you wanna
city
own these
then.
colonies?
Philadelphia
It-
was the biggest city then.
The British had that too.
I mean, he's making a fair point. If you want to send a message to the Brits that they don't want to own the colonies, just ruin them with nuclear winter and they won't want to.
It's definitely a strategy. And you think Porgy would have definitely done this
I think so.
from all the Hamilton you've watched?
Also, one other thing was he did have a spy ring, which was pretty cool. I don't know any other president that had a spy ring.
Okay,
mean,
are we now
most of
talking
them.
about national treasure? Is that where we're into?
No, we're talking about
Absolutely
the
most of them.
Culper ring. If you guys
They
have
did,
watched,
that's it.
you watched, I think it's called Turn on Netflix, maybe.
Or again, just Hamilton.
Was that in Hamilton? I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's the big guy, Hercules Mulligan. He's part of the Culper Ring.
Yeah, but yeah, watch Turn. It's pretty good. So that's my guy.
Also, he's objection. Obviously, he's not the only president to have a spy ring. We actively have spy agencies now.
But, objection overruled. Not a question.
Okay.
Scratch it from the record.
That's the one. Oh, okay. Sustained.
Overruled.
You can't overrule this. I was sustaining your overrule.
All right, I think we're good to move forward.
Pantsman, can you step in here and help me out here? This is insane.
Don't lead the witness.
God damn it. That's what witnesses are for.
I felt very let on.
Permission to treat the judge as hostile.
Who's the judge?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Which
Whoever
judge?
says yes to my question.
Permission granted.
Check your gear
You son of a
weapons.
bitch.
We go soon.
All right. Great. You guys are all in contempt. You're all in contempt, and you cannot overrule that.
You can't handle the truth.
I can't handle this contemption. All right. Muscle V, you're still moderating this thing. Is this? Are you ready to call this yet, or do you need more evidence?
I think we're good. So we're gonna have a poll out on the stream. You want to vote for the Truman Show? Go ahead and do that. You want to vote for? Wait. Yeah, Thomas Jefferson. What was the first one?
What? Are you asking? You don't remember who I picked?
No, you picked Thomas Jefferson. Pantsman, who did you pick?
Objection.
It was Harry S. Truman. It
Oh,
was
that's right.
Yeah, the Truman Show. I was right. Truman Show.
You never heard of him. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truman Show, and then you got Mr. Jefferson, and you got the OG. Go on our stream and vote. We'll announce the results on our next stream.
Mark a drop point for your team.
Right. Thank you, Muscle V. You run a tight ship.
Proceed to the safe zone.
The great debate. I don't know. We'll see. We might bring that segment back in the future. It went swimmingly. We just missed an ad spot opportunity, so Pantsman, lock and load. You're coming up soon, I think. The way we're playing. But in the meantime,
I'm locked and loaded.
I didn't hear a shotgun sound. So how are you locked and how are you loaded? Are you doing the sound? Because again, you're not coming across on the mic.
Damn it.
Move to the next
Just to
area.
clarify, am I doing an ad now, or you're saying get ready to do an ad at some point?
Get ready to do an ad at some point in the future.
Right.
Which
I've
is
been
what
ready
you're.
the entire thing. I
Makes sense.
don't
Your
need prep.
future.
Okay. Well, in that case, we do need you to take over the Twitch stream questions for tonight. What do we got on the stream?
Well, the first question is, what the fuck do you know about childbirth?
We answered
Who-
that already. I don't know. if we have to
Time out.
revisit that.
Who? You have to give credit. Who is asking the question?
Bitch Stallion 21.
Did you say bitch stallion?
Bitch Stallion 21.
And it doesn't indicate who the question's to?
I mean, they're not. It's not like a form they fill out. They just are posting
It's
comments
fine.
and
No,
questions.
it's fine. No is fine. I just was asking if it was to anyone.
Contract.
I assume, based on the context, that this is from earlier in the stream where we were
Yes.
talking about mansplaining, and it is geared towards Muscleby.
So they want to know what the fuck I know about childbirth.
Yes,
I think
I don't
there's
think
pro-
they're asking you. I don't think they're asking you to tell us what your knowledge is. You've already done that. I think they're challenging your credentials.
Well,
I think I heard some subtext. There was some subtext there too. There was some attitude.
what's your name again?
Might be mad. Bitch stallion. Something.
I don't care what their name is
Big
because they're
time
fucking
similar.
stupid. I know what I'm
Oh.
talking about. Get the hell off our stream.
No, do not get off our stream, bitch stallion. We really appreciate your question. It was a great one. You didn't answer the question though. Muscle V.
I'm not gonna acknowledge that question. That is insulting.
We've got another question.
What do we got?
Are you in the Freemasons, and how do I join? Again, I
And
think
what-
this is to all of us.
You have to give credit where credit's due still. Who asked that?
Oh, I'm sorry. This came from Aquatine Pitchfork.
Aquatine Pitchfork, no numbers?
It turns out it was long enough. I guess that it wasn't taken.
No idea how they got that. Great pickup, Aqua Teen Pitchfork. Sorry, what was the question? I know it's Freemasons, but I don't
Are
remember
you
the
in
actual.
the Freemasons? And if so, how do I join?
Yeah, I'm not in the Freemasons, and I definitely couldn't answer if I was, so I'm definitely not.
I'm also not in the Freemasons, and I couldn't answer if I was.
So how do you know if you're in the Freemasons?
That's a guy
Obviously,
who's-
you're not.
That's a guy who's in the
Let's check out.
Freemasons.
Based on how you answered that, we know that you're not in. So
You don't know that. I get invited to all these events, and I go, and people like dress up and shit. I don't really get it. It's kind of
yeah,
feels like a
that's once
cult.
a year. It's called a Halloween costume party, and I'd have seen you on the list if you're in the Freemasons. So you're not in the Freemasons.
I love the idea of
cute.
going to a Freemason event and just being like, I don't really get it. Like, what do you guys do here?
Do I need to dress up like to look like you guys? Like that's a snappy costume.
That's snappy. How snappy a costume are we talking about?
I
And
feel pretty
can you
snappy,
describe
right?
it?
I can't,
can't say-
but it
I
feels.
asked you, and you can't say right.
Oh no.
Well, I'm reading through a lot of comments, but I'm seeing one more question
Okay.
in the stream chat. Now, this one I'm gonna play around. This one is by Cool Cookie 12856438814.
I think you just read a password, but that's fine.
And their question is,
Oi,
why?
you're up next. Ready up.
A question as old as time itself.
Why what?
Wait, I can see the little
Win here,
dots.
and you
They're
return to the
they're actually typing right now.
Lose.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they're excited. I think they're excited that we're about to answer their question.
Fight your way
So that's why.
out.
Oh, okay.
Capture the objective.
They just posted a follow up. So they added what? Huh.
Are we reading,
That
are
would
we
be more
reading
luminous.
Back out there.
two separate questions, or
When you
You
say
think-
cuz, like
is there
cuz-
punctuation after each one?
Yeah. Go ahead if you're. Nope, they're not typing. They're not. I thought they were doing that thing where they were typing again, but then just stopped.
Is
Okay.
cuz a good answer? Like just cuz?
I think that's kind of the Forrest Gump
It's in the
approach.
spirit of the question.
I don't think it's the right answer, but I think it's an acceptable answer.
I think
but-
they use complete words.
Ants Man,
I would
Ants Man.
say.
Hey, before we finish those answers, why don't you go ahead and do your ad spot?
Okay. You're a busy working person who doesn't have time to cook. Not to mention grocery shop for all those pesky ingredients that are just going to go bad in your fridge. What you need is Freezer Queen. This isn't one of those food delivery services where they send you a bunch of dumb ingredients and steps to follow just to turn them into something to eat. These are ready-made meals that are stored indefinitely in your freezer. How do you prepare them? In your microwave, silly. It couldn't be easier. Your dinner guests will be bamboozled into believing you're a 5-star chef when you feed them such delightful meals as gravy with Salisbury steaks and broccoli with cheese sauce. Freezer Queen, the ready-made meal for you. Availability subject to whether we clean our debris-strewn and unsanitary factory or just shut it down.
Now is broccoli with cheese sauce, is that like its own meal? Or does it come with like a protein?
Sorry, what? What's your question?
Is broccoli with cheese sauce is that like a meal in itself, or does it come with a protein?
Yeah.
Well,
That's the meal.
cheese is protein.
Does it come with like
Delicious.
a meat?
Delicious broccoli, healthy broccoli with delicious protein-rich cheese sauce.
Well, let me go home and heat up some broccoli and cheese sauce for dinner.
Why are you acting like broccoli cheddar isn't a super common soup?
And why are you
It was
acting
not-
like
it
these
was
are
not a
our
soup.
sponsors that we should revere?
It was
Yeah,
not a
why-
soup that was mentioned. It was a dinner.
It's fine, but first of all, this is our sponsors. Stop besmirching them.
I also love that you're really pushing against the specific meals and not their disclaimer at the end.
Yeah, I think there's other things you could have attacked. What I don't understand is how the other. That's some great marketing. I don't know. I'm not gonna say this way or that about the product. I've yet to get my Freezer Queen sent to me directly, so I'm gonna hold
They
off till
sent
they
me some
send me a
sample
couple.
packs, and I have been eating nothing but cheese and broccoli for days.
Cheese and broccoli meal
Training's
with no
over.
protein.
No
Time to see
protein.
what you've learned.
That's great. I feel like again, I haven't got them yet, but maybe some of the people in the freezer section should really step up and recognize what Freezer Queen's doing in the marketing department, because that was great. I'm sold.
Now, how long do you cook it in the microwave for?
That's the best part. The instructions are written on the box.
Awesome.
Oh my god, that's amazing. There's no way I would ever throw that out, especially after, or get some ingredient on it while trying to prepare it. No chance whatsoever.
Yeah, and if you want to augment your Freezer Queen with some, protein, for instance, just put some raw chicken on top of the box while you put it in the microwave and add 10 seconds to your time.
That sounds great.
Is there an addendum to the ad read? Are you filling in the blank?
The good old-fashioned pants man tip.
Is that just a pants fact?
Yeah, that's a pants fact. It doesn't just work for Freezer Queen, by the way. You got a Hot Pocket you want to add some salmon to? Toss that salmon right on top of that Hot Pocket. Add 10 seconds. You're cooked done.
It sounds like this is like for the man on the go.
Owl. Do you want to give do you need to give a disclaimer? Do not cook chicken for 10 seconds. This is not our sponsor telling us this. This is just
I will add a further
idea.
disclaimer. If we've said it, don't follow it, don't believe it, it's not true.
Absolutely, do not follow that. That is horrible cooking advice and medical advice at that point. Again, as long as now if our sponsor said it, yeah, of course, do whatever the sponsor. They know, they've got scientists. Freezer Queen certainly must. We don't.
You would
have
think
that.
you'd be wrong.
Get to the marked location.
Oh, again, does the ad read say that?
Nope, it's just a fact that I know.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Thanks, Freezer Queen. Sorry we attacked you immediately.
Bear in mind, I vet all of my sponsorships, so I am very aware of the ins and outs of their business model and their workings. So I know they don't have any scientists. That to me is not a strike against them. That's a compliment. They don't have any eggheads weighing them down, you know.
Yeah, it helps. You could carry the savings forward without all the eggheads. They have to get paid.
Cost a lot.
Very smart. Freezer Queen, great work. Keep doing what you're doing. And also send me some of those meals. I'd be happy to try them.
Subject to availability based on whether or not they're still, got the factory running.
Yeah, I think you don't have to add that disclaimer, do you? I think that's true for everyone.
That is the one thing that was made very clear to me by legal. I do have to give that disclaimer.
Oh, okay.
So the one thing I am curious about is with the supply chain shortages and everything, how are they doing today in terms of supply? It sounds like maybe low.
Primary objective accomplished.
Yeah, I have to assume that they're getting sold out every weekend or however they operate.
Is there a broccoli shortage? I don't know.
No, a cheese product shortage, we assume.
Well, again, cheese and cheese product would do very different things. And
not all of us are Mrs. Jackson. We don't all have just this giant store of cheese around.
That's a great callback.
Thank you. Okay.
And this is the longest ad read we've ever done.
Sorry, we had things going on. All right, sorry. Okay. Moving on. I don't know about you guys, but the world has seemed fucking crazy as hell lately. Everyone seems mad at everything. So I don't feel as mad about everything as everyone else. Maybe it's because I'm so fucking zen. I don't know. But I want you guys to try to help me out. Can you try to find some things that'll piss me the fuck off so I could get on everyone else's level? Because this segment's called What Peeves Jeeves.
Take it away, Muscle V.
Yeah, I'm going to start with when you're being overruled. I think that really does piss you off.
Well, only if it's by a judge that's out of his fucking mind.
Overruled.
Oh my god, are you serious? We're not even in the this is Actually, okay, for real. It wasn't your lack of qualifications that made me mad. It's the fact that you're a Soviet and you're trying to overrule me on presidential talk that was out of line.
But did
Didn't make
it do the job? Did you get pissed off?
Why are you kicking at your enemies?
What?
No, it didn't do the job. I was not mad. I was I mad? I actually don't remember. I don't think so. I think I was following regular court procedure, unlike the fucking judge.
The fight has begun.
Who knows
Oh.
nothing about court procedure, probably because he's a goddamn Soviet.
All right,
Not to attack
Pants.
his...
Win here and you return to the
You can take the second one.
Lose and your fight is over. Fight your way out of this.
wait, I'm going to rate all the ones that you guys throw at me, by the way. Despite whatever rate I give. 3 out of 10 on the mad meter there.
It's
Okay.
not over yet. Your team can still buy your freedom.
I think that you probably smell.
What? Is that you think I probably smell is going to make me mad? It's COVID, buddy. If you don't smell, you're wasting your goddamn time. Why would I put on deodorant? I'm not going outside. Of course I smell. 0 out of 10. Absolutely not going to make me mad.
I confused the game. I was thinking things that make me mad.
Oh, you get mad when people would say that you smell?
No, I get mad. I would get mad if I was around you and you smelled.
Oh. Why? My natural musk is probably fine.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
Just gave it a whiff. I think I'm sitting breezy right now.
Yeah, well, that breeze is quite the windstorm. Let me tell you.
I imagine people would pay money for this, just to be around this scent. I should talk to our perfume people.
I've paid money to bribe your wife to change your deodorant, and she told me you don't even use any. So
That's right. Why would I need to? The musk thing. I told you about that. Absolutely no reason for. Okay, first of all, big deodorants really got you off your goddamn rocker. There's no reason to use deodorant. We smell fine.
No, deodorant is a way to not smell like a natural human being. Nobody wants to smell you.
No, that's marketing. People love smelling you. I mean, maybe not you, but most people, other people like smelling until we got these perfume people showing up. And they're like, yo, we can make you smell like a hibiscus flower. It's like, what the fuck? Who wants to smell like a hibiscus flower? But then someone's like, oh, I want to smell like a hibiscus flower. And the next thing you know, everyone's walking around smelling like goddamn flowers so that when a human shows up, people are like, oh, I don't know. This feels weird.
So what about after you work out? You definitely don't smell like a hibiscus flower.
Well, you shower after you work out. You smell fine. If you work out and then
your natural musk was enough. Now you're saying you'll wipe away your musk?
Yeah,
you have
do
to
a
shower.
manly
No,
thing.
it's a safety thing. I'm so sweaty, I don't want to get sweat everywhere or people slip because I'm porous. There's nothing to do with smell.
Okay. I feel like you got a little bit more on edge from that than a 0 out of 10. I'm not saying it was great, but that was more than a 0.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. Your initial attempt was terrible, but I forgot about Big Odor, so that did made me a little mad. Yeah, everyone needs to chill the fuck out with deodorant.
Okay.
You can take that. You guys can take that to the back. Okay, go.
Mine is something that's come up on past episodes. House trouble, water falling in your basement, mouse crawling over your house.
Oh
I think that's gotta peeve the Jeeve.
Oh my god! Today, great timing. Today, we went. It's the first nice day it's been in a while here, and we went and pulled out the stroller, which has been sitting in our garage for I don't know. It's all winter. I was like, this should be fine. Shouldn't be any issues pulling out the stroller that's been basically indoors. And then right as we're about to put the kid in it, look And my wife goes, "What the hell is on the seat?" And a fucking mouse like scratched into like part of the seat for no goddamn reason, and like just took out like little bits and pooped a little bit on the baby stroller. So that's fucking great. That's just today. That's fresh in my mind.
God. That's pretty
And
awesome.
you also like can't get rid. I don't think we can get rid of it. Like baby strollers are super fucking expensive.
So is there
thanks,
like
big baby.
pieces? Is there pieces missing then, like of the seat?
Yeah, there's like little. Yeah, like little. It's on the seats, like the back of the stroller, like where your back would go.
You gotta hose that shit down.
Oh yeah, we're definitely just gonna pour Lysol on it or some shit. I don't know. We haven't handled it yet because we don't. We still have the baby around. Tomorrow, things are getting covered with Lysol, I think. Yeah. Sorry, what was the original topic? Mice. Just,
Waterfalls in your house, just house issues, specifically pertaining to Jews.
waterfall we got lucky with. Honestly, that should have been way worse. Mice on the regular just drive me up a fucking wall, though. Oh my god. The amount of places I found like evidence of mouse at this point, I think, is 6 different rooms. Like, it's fucking exhausted. Somehow, thankfully, I haven't got to the upstairs, but oh my god. First floor, basement, garage now. I'm losing my goddamn mind. I don't know what to do.
You should
I
probably
know what to do.
You should probably nuke your house. I would recommend that.
Honest to God, George Washington had the right idea spiritually. I don't think that would deter the fuckers. Like these fuckers they give no fucks about decorum, anything. They're just like, yeah, oh, you got tools? Great. Let me check out the fucking instructions. Hey, dumbass mouse, you can't even read, you idiot. What are you doing?
Have you tried meeting with the president and signing a treaty?
Well, no, what?
With the mouse president?
Oh, no, I haven't. I thought you were talking about.
Maybe diplomacy. No, maybe diplomacy is the way to go with your mouse issue.
Okay, first of all, I don't negotiate with terrorists. A, B. There's no reasoning with these pieces of shit anyway. And by piece of shit, I mean that's a very apt term. These things basically just shit everywhere. That's all they do.
Ugh.
It's an endless stream of nightmare. Honest to God. 10 out of 10. 20 out of 10, 20 out of 20, whatever you want to give it. Mice absolutely infuriate me. Good job.
Pants,
Wrestling isn't entertaining.
Sorry, what was that, Pants?
Wrestling isn't entertaining.
That's a troubling one. Because nowadays it's pretty accurate. Like WWE is a joke. Even AEW has got issues. But I mean, like, what you know, wrestling's entertaining, like at its best. You know, The Rock has taken over Hollywood. You know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is. I don't know. You might even know who The Undertaker is. Like, when it's at its best, it's obviously entertaining. And I know that you're just, I don't even think people generally say that it's not entertaining unless you mean right now. So I'm not even buying that as a topic.
So just to add on to that, Ryback, best wrestler ever?
Okay, you know that's not true. Best main eventer who almost
Ryback, the GOAT.
Injured multiple people.
He is the GOAT.
I'm just going to point out, you brought The Rock as evidence of being, taking over the world and being popular and therefore being entertaining. I just want to point out, Mr. Rock is dramatically, wildly, unbeatably, way more successful, entertaining, and wonderful post-wrestling.
You don't know that. You didn't follow his wrestling career. You weren't there for the Nation of Domination. You weren't there for Rock Stone Cold. You weren't there for the Rock and Sock connection. You weren't there for the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. You're out of your goddamn mind. Absolutely fucking not. I mean, he is pretty great, but He was fucking great in wrestling. There's a reason he showed up into the big screen.
We should pause for an ad spot. Jeez.
8 out of 10. Yeah, we should. Okay. I remember mine. I just need the intro. 1 second. Do you find yourself bored when you go to the toilet? Do you just wish that you could share your experience with those across the world? Well, now you can with the latest social media sensation, Shitter. All you got to do is when you get into the bathroom, show our app that you're using a toilet, and you'll be logged right into the greatest social media sensation sweeping the nation. Big into shit posting? Great. Perfect opportunity. Want to fling your crap halfway across the world? No fucking problem. With Shitter, you can. And yeah. Shit on, baby. Shitter.
Now I'm pretty sure it's a real app, right?
I did not check. I mean, yes, it is a real app that they sent us money for.
Now, do you use that on the regular?
I'm sorry, you cut out. What was that?
Oh, do you use that on the regular?
I use daily.
Daily.
I shit nap, I shitter.
Do you have any
What I do.
shitter friends across the world? Any specific countries?
Well, yeah, me and Boo are shitter friends, except that he, hasn't been around for the last couple shits. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Who else have I shat with? Let's see.
So you're only shitting with your friends.
I mean, I've connected globally with people with like-minded poop holes.
Enemy soldier.
Now, is there a secondary app, like a similar app called Shitter Critters, where you get to shit with animal friends?
With your mice?
I mean, yeah, okay. Fuck off. A. B. Why do you think that critters can't just use the regular shitter app? Why are you trying to restrict them?
I don't think I want to. I'm not going to be comfortable shitting on an app. If I want a person, I don't want an animal showing up.
You're speciest.
All right, soldier.
But if I want an animal, I don't want a person showing up too.
The gas is
Oh, so you're just particular.
Suggest you start running.
Exactly.
No
I'm not
problem.
a racist. I'm just particular.
Now, are you on video while you're on the app?
That's up to you. You can live shit. You can just take pics. Make shitty commentary. However you choose to shit globally. Says the ad reads addendum.
Okay. I'm installing that app right now.
Great, you can find it in app stores for probably all of them. I don't know. I only checked iPhone.
Move to the next area and protect the perimeter.
And kids these days, they're always in the bathroom.
Yeah, and
Always
should
on the
have just thought that they take advantage, and I respect them for it. I wish we would have thought of it. All right. Okay, this is our final topic of the day, segment of the day. Let's time check. Yeah, so we'll after this game ends, we will be done for the night. So to lead us off into the sunset, Pants Man, I want you to do a little brandsplaining for me. If you remember last show, brandsplaining, of course, is a 2022 buzzword in the business world. We want to make sure that people are getting their brands correct. Let's say, Muscle, there's two guys in here.
Yeah.
But you see that because you're dead. So Pants, Pants Man, sorry, can't say Pants. I want you to explain the brand Louis Vuitton. Now, before you go do this, I want to give you some context. I quickly looked up what the price of a Louis Vuitton belt is, and you can get a reversible Louis Vuitton belt for the low price of $880.
That sounds cheap. That is an amazing deal.
Obviously, it's basically two belts. So anyway, I want you to brand explain Louis Vuitton.
Well, it's funny. There's actually typically for most high-end brands two different levels. So for a brand like Louis Vuitton, there's going to be the low-end level. That's what most consumers are buying. So what most people are going to have, it's going to be a simple T-shirt with a logo on it, or a very modest Chinese-made purse that has the logo. It's about the logo. It's about having the prestige of that fancy brand, pretending or feeling like you are somebody who has, wealth and status, because they know that a brand like Louis Vuitton is very much revered in the wealthy community. But these are not the same products. That $800 belt, that is not what the average consumer is buying from Louis Vuitton. That is really for the true uber wealthy who can spend money like crazy. Now, why would they spend $800 on a status symbol? Is it because they are deeply, deeply materialistic and concerned about status and just showing off that they spent $800 on a thing that costs substantially less to build? Of course not. The wealthy aren't stupid. That's why they're wealthy. It's a money laundering scheme. See, the brand Louis Vuitton, as most high-end brands, have incredible, insane markups as a way to launder huge swaths of money very quickly in what seems like a legitimate business.
I just bought a belt, by the way.
Okay, they're not a sponsor. You don't have to promote them.
I
So
did
just
just buy
to be
one.
clear, great. Okay. Well, we can't wait. Post pictures whenever you put it on. To be clear, you think the brand executives over at Louis Vuitton got together and decided that they want their brand to exude money laundering?
I'm just telling you what their brand is.
No, that is literally the segment.
Yeah, I'm explaining to you the brand. I'm telling you what the brand is.
The brand is money laundering.
Yes.
What is
Because again, you're thinking that what the executives at Louis Vuitton are saying to the masses is money laundering, which of course would be insane because they would instantly be caught and
That'd be crazy.
all
That'd
go
be
to prison.
absolutely crazy. Yeah.
That's not the brand. The brand, again, it's two-tier. To the masses, the brand is luxury. It's status. It's pay a little bit for something that makes you feel like you spend a lot of money. Or really, I mean, spend 40, 50 bucks for something worth a lot less, but you'll feel like you are a wealthy person for owning it. That's the first half of the brand. The second half of the brand is marketed specifically to the uber wealthy. And the goal is to say to them, hey, you've got dirty money. Why wouldn't you? You're wealthy. You're probably a crook 100% of the time. So if you want to get your money clean, buy these incredibly expensive products, and suddenly it's all a fancy transaction. It cleans the money laundering.
I see. Okay. I think you did very well. I'm going to read their mission statement to you. You can self-rate how you did, okay?
Okay.
Their mission statement is to create products that embody unique savoir-faire, a carefully preserved heritage, and a dynamic engagement with modernity.
Yeah. Most of those words to the masses sound like, again, luxury. It sounds like craftsmanship. It sounds like wealth. But those very same buzzwords to the wealthy, modernity, money laundering. What were some of the other words in there?
Unique savoir-faire.
Unique money laundering.
I don't even know what Sapphire Fair is, but it sounds fancy as fuck.
Sapphire Fair means money laundering. That's what it means.
I think it's one of the Pokemon games that came out.
I do own Sapphire. Maybe do I have Louis Vuitton stuff?
Maybe.
Yeah, I could.
Oh, Louis Vuitton Pokemon. Maybe. Preserved heritage pants, man?
Well, that means money laundering.
Oh. Okay, so you self-rate?
I can explain that one. So preserve heritage. You're preserving your
Not actually.
inheritance by cleaning the dirty money that you inherited.
Honestly, now that I'm reading it under I guess these clear colored lenses, I can really, yeah, you're right. It's pretty much verbatim saying, yo, launder your money with us. We got
It's
weird
the
ass
biggest
belts.
open secret in Washington, D.C.
I can't believe what a reveal.
Are you looking at the website code?
What?
What?
Are you looking
No,
at
there's
the website code
they're
behind
not
the
our
scenes?
they're not our ad sponsor.
Okay.
What website code? Do you mean URL?
No, you can still see the coding on the website.
Oh, the encoding.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's a secret code if you get down to the HTML level or whatever. I'm saying that the words themselves are code words for money laundering.
Yeah, he's saying if you take the first letter of each thing of that sentence, it says money launder here or
Oh
something
my
like that.
god, that is mind blowing.
Right? It's genius.
Also, it just so happens there's a plugin for Chrome that you won't be able to get. It's impossible to access, but it's kind of an invite-only extension for Chrome, and that is an extension where if you're invited because you're uber wealthy, you click. It turns any donate button on a charity website into a money laundering button. So.
Why?
That's how they're able to do it as well as through charity work.
And that's Louis Vuitton does that?
No. I'm changing the subject to another thing the uber wealthy do.
Okay, can we reach out to them? See if you can get them for an ad spot.
The uber wealthy?
Yeah, the wealthy.
Okay.
Definitely reach out to them for an ad spot. That's the perfect people to.
So
Fair.
They can launder some of their money through us. We don't care.
I was walking around the city this weekend, and there was a guy on the street that was walking who had silver shoes. And when asked where he got the shoes, he said he got it at Louis Vuitton in Vegas.
You
So-
asked him about his shoes and where he got them?
It was not me that was asking; it was somebody else that asked him.
So
What-
you asked him.
I was a
Yeah, what do you-
passerby.
You passed by someone asking this guy a question?
Yeah.
Were you just hovering around this guy until somebody had the balls to ask him the question? Were you
No,
just
we-
How
hanging
long
out?
did you stay around this
We
guy?
were crossing paths, and somebody asked him where he got his shoes, and I heard the conversation as I was passing by.
So you just got hella lucky.
That I heard that he
Could've
got it at
gotten it.
Louis Vuitton in Vegas. I mean, I wouldn't consider that lucky.
I mean, just like statistically, the chances that someone's walking by asking about them shoes as you are, what do you think the chances of that was?
67.5%.
Oh, so you actually got unlucky. No, sorry.
I had a better
you just
chance.
you
I had a
followed
better
trend.
Yeah, I had a better chance than that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do with that info at all. I'm sure Louis Vuitton appreciates the shout out from did you say he was a homeless guy? Did I add that subtext?
No, it was a guy just walking down the street.
Okay. Did he seem to be repping the Louis Vuitton brand?
He seemed to be pretty well dressed for considering
Okay.
the weather we had.
Okay. So you happened to run in some Louis Vuitton shoes this weekend, is what you're saying?
Yeah, now we don't know if they were fake or not, right? You can fake those shoes just like you can fake the purses. So we don't know.
True. Great.
He didn't give a price either. He just said he got it in Vegas at the Louis Vuitton store.
Okay. Great. Let's get the fuck out of here. What do you say? Let's go around the horn real quick. Let's wrap this show up. Dixie, what do you got?
What a great President's Day. A lot of good discussions today. A great debate. Make sure you go online and vote for your president. Thank you.
Yes, please do vote for who you think won the great debate, the GOAT of presidents. Pants Man, what do you got for us?
President.
Still present. Honestly, you could be doing so much fucking worse. Not naming any names, but, just a heck of a producing job out of you. Thanks, Pants Man.
Make sure you hit up Boo Radley before we go.
Are you telling me?
Yeah.
Or are you telling other people?
No, No, I'm telling you.
Oh, I see what you did. You throwing shade. I love it. Boo, what do you got? I'm a big dummy dumb. I don't know. I don't know how to internet or some shit. Blah blah blah.
It sounds just like.
No. Yeah, I definitely got
Oh
his
my
voice.
gosh! I should have.
on,
When
right?
I was trying to, when we were playing that game, where we were trying to make you annoyed. I really should have come up with Boo Radley not showing up today.
Oh my god, I was so mad. 10 out of 10. And for any of you still with us, we appreciate your patronage and your patience as we continue to slowly form this shitstorm into something. We're definitely moving in some direction. We appreciate you sticking around on this journey. For now, we ask you to like and subscribe if that's a thing we can do on Twitch. I honestly don't know. And if it is or isn't, doesn't matter. We'll catch you next time. God Daddy's out.